Hey, this is Vu, and today I'm going to be talking about the idea of catching people in transition. And this is something that people don't usually notice until they're actually on a team, or at least it's not something they usually put words to until they're on a team or they're playing against good teams. And putting words to it is actually incredibly important because it's a very important thing to be actually thinking about and working towards, is catching people in transition. And so what you really want to be doing, and the idea behind this, is catching people in that moment where they're kind of rotating around and they're out of position. And this generally happens especially with teams. For example, on Dust 2, if you are playing a default on T side here, you're going to see a team might get an entry pick at long A, and they might go for control of long A with one or two players. So what happens is the CT side is going to rotate around and try and compensate for the lack of a player at long A if they got picked. And the terrorist side is going to try and rotate around and execute on that long A control. So what you're trying to do really, and this is more importantly on CT side, however, the idea of this is actually going to help you quite a bit on T side as well, I believe, is you want to be catching those terrorists in those moments of transition when they're rotating around. And so you're going to see a lot of very good teams, rather than instantly rotating over to try and control an area, they're actually going to turtle up a little bit as soon as they get a pick. So for example, they might have a player up on Cat here looking for a pick towards Cat. He's trying to clear it out. They get a pick at long A, and he might actually back up to try and hold it a little bit more passively, because he knows that the counter-terrorist team is going to try and catch him off guard, try and find that equalizing pick as quickly as possible. They're going to throw a flash through there maybe and try and push up on Cat. So instead of letting that happen, he backs up, he turtles up, and he tries to get into a safe spot to hold. So actually, it's a little bit of a mind game going on there, where they're trying to, one team, catch the other team off guard in transition where they're rotating around, and the other team is trying to prevent that from happening and rotate around safely. So generally what you want to be doing is, on most maps, there is a best area to do this, where there's kind of a wide open area where you can get a lot of picks where the enemy team is in the open. And the idea behind this is just to execute as quickly as possible a push with a couple of players from your team, especially with a pop flash, to catch the enemy off guard and get that pick back, and at the worst, get some map control. So for example, you want to do this in areas where if there's nobody there, you get quite a bit of map control. Great example is short B on Overpass, or A main on Cache, or mid on Dust 2, in fact. Because it's a wide open area, there's a lot of ways for a pop flash push executed quickly, and the whole motivation behind this, the whole important part, is quickly. Get it done quickly, because the enemy team, they might have a player here throwing a flash on the Cat. And if as soon as you get picked at long, you flash push, this guy doesn't have time to be back in this cubby already. But that might be what he's trying to do as soon as his team gets a pick. He's trying to turtle up and make it safe. And so the reason I said this was important when you're on T side is that's exactly what you want to be doing. You don't want to be leaving yourself in the middle of the open, when your team just got a pick, because you're allowing the enemy team to get that flash push, catch you in the middle of the open, get that kill. So on CT side, I would highly recommend something like, a flash over, and you have a teammate push out and try and clear out lower tunnels, and another teammate kind of supports, like something like this. At A main on Cache, you can have a player rotate quickly from Speedway to Forklift, pop flash A main, push right in. On Overpass, you can have someone push up close to short, and another person flash right over so that you can clear out short. And the important part, again, these areas, wide open areas, easy to get a pick, easy to catch someone off guard, because there's a lot of places they might be moving to. For example, they might be going from long up short, or going back short to turtle up, going back mid to turtle up. On Cache, they might be moving back to rotate around. On Overpass, they might be moving back to rotate around as well. There's so many ways you can catch people, and if you don't catch anybody, then you have a lot of map control to make up for the fact that you're now 4v5. So anyways, I thought this was an idea that a lot of people really miss out on, and it's a natural thing for a lot of people, but it's one of those things that I think people miss out on if they haven't really thought about it or put words to this kind of idea. And so they end up getting caught in these weird positions and giving a lot of trade kills back to the enemy in bad ways. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.